In this video, we're going to be discussing what mothers should consider when making their own baby foods and some tips and tricks which can help you out in case you're starting. Hello Healthy Smart Moms, I am Larissa Livella, the Healthy Smart Mom, and welcome to the Applemelon channel. Here we talk all things kid nutrition and help you with easy ways to raise a smart kid by giving you tips and tricks to make learning fun and easy. First and foremost, when starting solids, it's important, very important, to introduce single ingredient foods to identify any potential allergies or intolerances. Examples of single ingredient foods will include pureed fruits and vegetables, things like carrots, bananas, and even grains. To make homemade baby foods, mothers can steam, bake, or boil the ingredients until they are soft and then blend it. It is also very important for you to remember that babies should not be given honey before their first birthday. More reasons about that will be in a video which I'll put the link in the description box, okay? So check it out and know why a baby shouldn't be taking honey till after their first birthday. It's important you know the reason, because if you don't know, you might be tempted to want to try and see what happens, though I know most mothers wouldn't do that. Secondly, mothers should consider the nutrients their babies need to grow and develop. Babies need a variety of nutrients, like so many nutrients, more than even us who are grown up. These nutrients might include some proteins, carbohydrates, healthy fats, vitamins, and minerals, which is what we need. But because their systems are a bit still weak and they are still developing, they need more of these things. They need foods of high protein, which include meat, fish, legumes, dairy products, and so much more. They also need carbohydrates, which is found in some fruits, some vegetables, in grains, and in some tubers as well. Healthy fats can be found in things like avocados, nuts, seeds, and iron-rich foods such as meat and leafy greens are essential for the development of the red blood cells of the baby, because these particular cells carry oxygen throughout the body. Vitamin C is also very important for the absorption of iron and can be found in citrus fruits, berries, and leafy greens. It's important for you to bring all these things together. Also, one very important mineral is calcium, which helps in developing strong bones and teeth, and which is found in dairy products, leafy greens, and fortified foods. Like, I explained so much more on this in the Applemelon Cookbook, which you can find here, and it's available in the hardback book and also in an ebook, which you can find everywhere around the world. I'll also drop the link in the description below, so check it out and get a copy for yourself. Thirdly, mothers should consider the texture of the food they are introducing to their babies. Around the age of 6 months, babies are usually ready for pureed foods, not just any kind of foods, because they are just trying to learn how to eat. But as they get older and they are more experienced with eating, they can move on to mashed foods or chopped foods. But it is very, very important for you to introduce a variety of textures to your baby to help them develop their eating and oral motor skills, and to help them to know how to chew and swallow, because this is very important. But in the beginning, you have to start with purees. Now, the fourth thing which mothers should consider is the safety of the foods they are preparing. This is very, very important. This is why when you're preparing homemade foods, you need to learn about it more. You have to know that the food has to be extremely clean, because children's systems are not as strong as ours, and it always has to be stored in airtight containers in the freezer for a very short time, in the fridge, refrigerator for a very short time, or in the freezer for longer periods. It's also important for you to wash your hands and the utensils you're going to be using thoroughly before preparing baby foods. In our society, most mothers use new pots to prepare baby foods. It's also recommended for you to use fresh ingredients and avoid adding things like salt, sugar, and other seasoning to baby food, because you're not sure how those things were prepared. Finally, when making baby foods, it is very important for us to know that it's going to be very, very time consuming. So mothers have to plan ahead and batch cook when possible, and make freezer foods so that it can help them to remove small batches and feed their babies. Also, to make it easier, you can try to make the same foods which your family is eating and then blend some for your kid. But remember that you don't remove baby foods or remove a certain quantity and then put it back in the freezer. No, it's not done that way. Save it in a way that you can remove a small piece, just what the baby will eat, and feed the baby. I'll be telling you more when I'm giving you tips and tricks. Remember, when your baby is 8 months, they have to start eating baby friendly versions of what your baby is eating. I remember in my case, when my babies were 8 months, I used to blend their fried rice. You can just imagine how tasty that can be. Right, I blend the fried rice with all the vegetables. It was really tasty and they really loved it. Right, so mothers should consider all this when making their baby foods. And remember, introduce foods one by one, single ingredient food. I know you could be really excited, but introduce foods which come like on their own, like carrots, like bananas, those things. Okay, so remember all this when you're trying to introduce foods. Also remember the safety, remember all these things that you have to do, because by following these guidelines that I've mentioned below, mothers can actually provide the best and very nutritious food for their kids. You mustn't buy all the expensive foods. By following these things, you can actually prepare meals that are really nutritious for your baby and will help your baby grow and develop into a healthy baby. Now, let me go on to talk about some tips which can help you to make your starting solids to be more fun and easy, because we already know that it is time consuming and all. But what can you do to help you when you're making your baby foods to make it just a bit easy? Now, the first thing you want to consider is to use a food processor or a blender to puree your baby's fruits or vegetables. And then, if you're not sure that your blender is blending them well, you can use a strainer to sieve the food to remove any lumps or chunks. This is something that you can do to ensure that the baby's food is very, very smooth. Another thing which you want to do is to add a bit of breast milk, like extracted breast milk or formula, to make the texture of the food smoother and make the taste a bit familiar to the baby. Because if you just try something new without a familiar taste, it will make it really difficult for babies to take it. Now, some other thing that you want to do is to use an ice cube tray to freeze small portions of baby food for later use. Once they are frozen, you can now remove them and put them in a Ziploc bag for easy storage. And this will help you that when you want to feed your baby, you just remove 1 or 2 of those ice blocks, you defrost them, you warm them, and then you can feed your baby. Also, try combining different flavors by the time you've tested different foods and you realize that your child is not allergic to them. Try testing different textures, different flavors. For example, you can mix the carrot puree with banana puree and see how your baby takes it. This is one of the recipes in the Applemelon Cookbook, and I'll really encourage you again to click on the link in the description box and get a copy for yourself, because if you're starting solids, this is a book that you need. You need it for your children as you're starting solids to when they are about 5 years old. Okay, so if you wish to get a copy, just click the link in the description box and get yours. Now, the next tip which you want to follow is use a silicone feeding spoon that is gentle on the baby's gums and teeth. This is one of the reasons why our starting solid kit is taking so much time for us to release it, because we are looking for the best of the best. This is one of the things that we are considering, the many things we're considering. So it's going to be something which you want to get yours. You want to start maybe saving to get yours when we launch. Also, something which you want to consider is to steep fruits and vegetables instead of boiling them in water to help preserve their nutrients. Because if you boil them in water and then you throw the water, you're throwing some of the nutrients. Yes, so please steam them instead in the double boiler method. Okay. And also, don't be afraid to experiment with different foods and flavors to find out what your baby likes. But remember, try single ingredient foods first before going on to try more things. In conclusion, making homemade food is a great way for mothers to ensure that their babies are getting the best nutrition possible. Considering the nutrients that their baby needs, the texture of the food they are introducing, and the safety of the food they are preparing, mothers can definitely provide the best foods for their baby to help them to develop into healthy and strong individuals. I know with the fact that mothers have wish for the best for their kids, it is possible for them to do this with a little planning, just a little planning, and such tips and tricks which we have given to you today. So if you're thinking of maybe making your own baby foods, go on to do it following these tricks, and you realize that you're doing a great job and you don't have to break a bank to feed your baby. Okay, at this point, if you enjoyed this video, I would like to plead with you to consider subscribing and put on notification bell, so each time we upload a video you'll be the first to know, because here we give a lot of things which mothers might want to know. Click on the description box and on the description box and check the other videos which I talked about, and check the Applemelon Cookbook, and also remember to put on the notification bell, so each time we upload a video you'll be the first to know. And if you're an old subscriber, you're a returning subscriber, thank you for always coming back. You really put smiles on my face by coming back. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let's keep raising healthy, smart kids. See you next week, same time, same day, Wednesday, 3 p.m. GMT plus 1. That's when we upload new videos. I want to see you here next week. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye.